This is Blade Rondo number 2, Night Theater, Game Manual, Reading, and Walkthrough. Figured since they're all standalone games, might as well just go through the whole game manual for each. And then obviously with the new updated content. Blade Rondo Night Theater is a fast-paced, card-based clash of swords and sorcery for 1 to 2 players. With 7 chosen swords in hand, you face your opponent on the field of battle. Reduce their life to 0 to be declared the winner. To get started, read on to learn the rules for a 2-player game. The additional rules for a solo game are covered later in this rulebook, but don't skip ahead. You'll need to know the basics first. Set up your area as shown below. Attribute dice. Place each die in the circle matching its color, with the 0 facing up. The red die tracks your attack, the green die tracks your voltage, and the blue die tracks your defense. Lifestone. Place your lifestone on the space marked 15, and that's the attribute board. For ease play, align the top of your board with that of your opponent's. Breath control cards. Place 1 enkindle card and 1 armor card face up in front of you. So the setup would look somewhat like this. First time player, skip to the first battle on page 29 before reading further. The spirited Maria and the pedantic Sonya have never seen eye to eye and contest their disputes with swords instead of words. Take up their favorite swords and settle their agreement. Determine who will play as Maria and who will play as Sonya. Take the 10 cards listed below for your character. Maria's cards. 1. Nocturnal Nail. 2. Siegebreaker Spear. 3. Haunted Hatchet. 4. Rose Bullet. Number 5. Bloody Dahlia. 6. Enveloping Bolero. Number 7. Rousing Cannon. 8. Bustling Burlesque. 9. Incorporeal Amethyst. And then 10. Silent Crystal. Sonya's cards. 1. Baneful Blade. 2. Bladed Baton. 3. Grimm's Gabius. 4. Final Loteria. 5. Blossoming Scrozo. 6. Windowside Musical. 7. Menacing Extras. 8. Jeering Pixcaresque. Oh my god, my tongue always flashes for that one. 9. Flickering Alexandrite. And 10. Sacrificial Tourmaline. Shuffle your 10 cards, then choose 7 at random to build your hand. Set aside the 3 remaining cards without showing them to your opponent. Follow steps 1 and 4 as described from page 5 to set up your area. You are now ready to begin the match. Once a winner has been decided, play a second game with the same set of 10 cards, but this time choose the 7 cards to build your own hand. Shuffle the 40 sword cards, then deal 15 to each player, face down. The 10 remaining cards won't be used in this match. Return them to the box without looking at them. Choose 7 of your 15 cards to build your hand for the match. The 8 remaining cards won't be used in this match. Return them to the box without showing them to your opponent. Randomly determine which player will go first. The player going second takes the Enquicken card, places it face up in front of them, and increases their attack to 1. Once both players are ready, the battle can begin. Sword front and back. Want to battle using your favorite swords? If both players own a copy of this game, you may each prepare a hand of 7 swords cards to use in the match. Your hand may include up to 2 copies of a card with the same name. When playing with this variant, skip steps 2 and 3 described above. Turn overview. You and your opponent will alternate taking turns until one of you is victorious. Each turn consists of the following 3 steps. 1. Upkeep. At the beginning of your turn, A. Increase your voltage. Voltage cannot exceed 9. If your voltage is already at 9 at the beginning of your turn, you suffer a voltage burst and lose 1 life. When the sum of both players' voltage attributes is less than 12, it's day, and when the sum is 12 or more, it's night. B. Resolve your beginning of turn bonded effects. See bonded on page 13. Bonded. Play this card normally. If its bonded effects is resolved, place it in the specified player set area. The player gains the effects described on this card for as long as it remains in their set area. Although cards with bonded effects have a limited icon, do not discard them at the end of the turn. Bonded effects are not considered actions and cannot be responded to. C. Resolve your familiar's beginning of turn's effects. See familiars on page 14. Resolve these in order if 2 or more effects are resolved at the same time. The active player may decide the order in which to resolve them. Familiar. A card placed in your set area via summon familiar name effect. 2. Actions. Play 1 or more cards from your hand. The total cost of cards you play cannot exceed your voltage. How to use a card. Choose a breath control card from your breath control area or a sword card from your hand and place it in your play area. If you choose a gambit card, place it face down, otherwise place it face up. The number in the top left corner of the card indicates the cost you must pay to play it. Your voltage does not decrease when you play a card. Instead, it serves to indicate the maximum total cost you can spend on your turn. All gambit cards have a cost of 1, and an armor's cost is however much you choose to pay. If you played a card face up, resolve its effects. Number 3. Cleanup. At the end of your turn, move all face-up cards with a limited icon in your play area to your discard pile. Return all other face-up cards in your play area to your hand. Return all breath control cards in your play area to your breath control area. Your opponent returns all face-down cards in their play area to their hand. When one of your attributes changes, turn the corresponding die so that the number facing up reflects the new value. When your current life increases or decreases, move your life stone to the appropriate space. Attributes have a maximum value of 9, and life has a maximum value of 15. However, some sword cards have effects that can allow you to temporarily exceed your maximum attack or defense value. Should this happen, do not adjust your attribute dice. Game area. Set area, place familiars and cards with bonded effects here. And breath control area, place your breath control cards here. Play areas right above the breath control. Place the cards you play on your turn here. And then you got the two boards. Card overview. You will find the following information on breath control and sword cards. Card name, which is on the very top. The cost, upper left-hand corner. The cost you must pay to playing this card. Limited icon cards being this icon are discarded if they are in the player's play area at the end of their turn. That's right below the name and to the right of the cost. Discipline symbol is in the upper right corner and indicates which discipline this card belongs to. Effects. Text explaining what this card does when used. Unless there is a specific discipline symbol listed to the left of the effect, it shares the discipline symbol shown in the top right of the card. Flavor. Excerpts from stories or legends that have no effect on gameplay. At the bottom of each card you will find its card number as well as the name of its illustrator. This information has no impact on the game. The cards and actions used in this game are divided into 5 disciplines. While a card's discipline does not affect how it is played, it shows what kind of effects it is likely to have. Physical. A simple strike with solid steel. The strength of a card's physical attack is determined by your attack attribute. Magical. No shield can stop a mage's craft. Magical attacks ignore your opponent's defense attribute when dealing damage. Assist. Turn the tides of battle in your favor. Assist cards provide a variety of beneficial effects, such as restoring life or increasing your attributes. Some will even let you summon familiars to aid you in battle. Gambit. Never let your foe catch you unawares. Gambit cards have effects that allow you to react to your opponent's actions. Special. The power to do the unexpected. Special cards offer you a chance of different effects. This discipline only appears in the solo game as one of Maria's swords. Breath control. Empower yourself through controlled breathing techniques. These cards are kept in your breath control area and are used to increase your attributes. You will always have a copy of Enkindle and Enarmor. The player going second will also have access to Enquicken. Effects keywords. The following keywords are used to describe certain card effects. Physical. Deal damage to your opponent equal to your attack attribute or that of an attacking familiar minus your opponent's defense attribute. Magical attack. Deal X damage to your opponent. Summon familiar name. When you play this card, place it face up in your set area as a familiar with the name, attributes, and effects described on the card. Although cards with this effect have a limited icon, do not discard them at the end of your turn. Use the familiar's attack attributes when it performs a physical attack. Response. When you play this card, place it in your play area face down. At the end of your turn, it does not return to your hand, nor is it discarded. During your opponent's turn, if they perform an action with a discipline symbol that matches one of the symbols listed to the right of the response keyword on your face down gambit card, you may choose to turn your gambit card face up and resolve its effects. When using more than one gambit card in response to an opponent's action, turn your gambit cards face up and resolve their effects one at a time in the order of your choosing. At the end of your opponent's turn, discard any gambit cards you use. Return gambit cards that you didn't use and are still face down to your hand. Secondary. If this card's effects dealt at least 1 damage to your opponent, resolve this effect. Hone. When you play this card, you may choose to resolve its Hone effect before paying its cost. Using a card's Hone effect is optional. Tribute. Resolve this effect when you pay the cost to use this card. This effect is mandatory and must be resolved.